You know, every time that Sony announces a Spider-Man spin-off movie, I always cringe at the idea of those news that Sony releases, and I just cringe about the ideas that they have for these Spider-Man spin-off movies. And I always think, oh, they're not going to be great. They're just trying to cash in because it's a franchise. But when I first saw footage of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I was like, okay, I know I'm going to love this movie. And boy, am I glad that I was right. And Sony really outdid themselves with this movie. So I give you my review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. More right after the intro. Hey everybody, welcome to News to the Science, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. My name is Ronnie, and welcome to my review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I just got to show you this Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse keychain that I got at the movie theater where I went to. It's adorable. I don't think I'm going to actually be putting this on my keychain anyways, because it looks like it'll probably just fall off, so I'll just keep it as a little souvenir. So there's that. But anyways, let's talk about the movie. So, to keep it short and simple, I gotta say, this is actually one of the best movies I've ever seen all around this year. And I'm not even exaggerating. It is truly a spectacle. It is amazing. The animation is just top-notch and gorgeous. So Sony's animation production company, Illumination, has really come a long way. They're the same company that's made the Despicable Me movies and the Minions spin-off movies that came out very recent. So definitely give it up for those guys. They did a phenomenal job. Now let's talk about the things that I like about, and then I'll talk about the minor things I didn't like about the film. But let's just talk about everything that I liked about it, and that's pretty much almost the entire film. So going in the movie, you already get this sense of feeling that this is pretty much a comic book movie, and it's treated as such because of the animation. And because of the animation, it gets to take advantage of those comic book tropes, you know, like the onomatopoeias, the speech bubbles, the animation, the way the characters move, the way they fit, fidget a little bit. And it's really cool. And a lot of these tropes are things that the actual live action movies are not able to get away with because it's live action. And that's one of the things I really like about it. Animation is stupendous. It's marvelous. It's amazing. It's beautiful. All right, let's talk about the next thing that I really loved about this movie, and that's, of course, that this story is pretty much a Miles Morales origin story, while also focusing on the many alternate versions and different universe versions of Spider-Men or Spider-Women. So Sony definitely did a great job with focusing on those characters, while all in all still being a Miles Morales origin story. And they did a phenomenal job in focusing on that character, while still bringing in the other Spider-Verse people and getting them involved. But the way they introduced them and brought them into this universe was very welcoming, and they executed it perfectly without it ever feeling very convoluted. So they did a phenomenal job with that. And Miles Morales as a character is a fan favorite, and if for those of you guys who are comic book fans, you will know that Miles Morales is indeed a Brian Michael Bendis character, and he created this character some odd years ago and has gained popularity, and the fans have loved him for years, and he's actually one of the Spider-Men in the current Marvel comics. And people for the longest have been wanting a Spider-Man story focusing on the Miles Morales character for the longest. And we got that in the form of an animation. And I thought it was amazing, and it was executed perfectly. I loved the character of Miles Morales. I'm definitely going to go ahead and see this movie once again. So let's go ahead and talk about the individual alternate Spider-Verse characters that there are in the movie. So Spider-Man, as you'd imagine, would include all of the different Spider-Man from different types of universe, including, of course, Peter Parker, the most well-known Spider-Man of all of them. I guess a lot of people are just getting tired of the Peter Parker Spider-Man character. I mean, we all know what happened to him. We all know why he became Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility, which they do make a joke about that in the movie, by the way. And a lot of the things that you've seen in the past live-action Spider-Man movies, like Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 3, are actually referenced in this movie, and they actually make fun of it. And they even poke fun of actually that spider dance sequence in Spider-Man 3. Yeah, Sony knows what they did wrong, but it's just hilarious when a company knows the mistakes that they've made and they just poke fun at themselves. And I'm happy that Sony is actually being a good sport about it by throwing this in the Spider-Man movie. And speaking of memes and such, there are plenty of those in this movie, and hopefully you guys would catch them. I'm not spoiling anything in this review, by the way. Go see this movie. It's amazing. You'll have a great time. And my God, all the Spider-Verse characters are fun. I loved them all. My favorite alternate Spider-Verse character was Spider-Man Noir, who was voiced by Nicolas Cage. And I'm actually kind of a fan of Nicolas Cage. I love everything he's in. No matter how crazy and over the top he is in his movies, that guy is a charm to watch on movies. And I'm glad that he was casted as this character because he was really brooding and hilarious at the same time. Then you have Penny Parker, who's an alternate version who has a telepathic link with her Spider-Bot. Yes, she is a Spider-Verse type of character. And she's being featured currently in the Spider-Geddon comics. So if you have a chance, read those comics as well. Going off topic there a little bit. But anyways, and then there's Spider-Ham, who's voiced by John Mulaney, who is a well-known comedian. He's written for a lot of TV shows and TV networks like SNL. And then we have Peter Parker, the middle-aged version of Peter Parker, who is a lot older, who pretty much takes Miles Morales under his wing and shows him the rope. And we also have Spider-Gwen. Yes, that's right. Gwen Stacy is in this movie, albeit a different version from an alternate dimension. Definitely a fun character. And of course, we have the central character, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, the main character of the story. So yes, this movie does execute everything really well. It doesn't feel convoluted. It doesn't feel rushed. We're not overwhelmed despite there being many characters. And for many people, that might be considered a turnoff if you see a movie featuring a bunch of characters and there's just a lot going on. But I'll tell you this movie is a lot simpler than it appears. And speaking of which, the villain of the movie is the Kingpin. There are plenty of villains in this movie, but the main villain is Kingpin. And the reasoning behind his actions in this movie I thought were kind of weak, and that was the only thing I didn't like about this movie. But still, this movie is phenomenal, and I think I consider it better than most of the live-action Spider-Man movies. Yes, dare I say, this movie, I think I do consider it better than some of the live-action Spider-Man movies there is out there. It's probably in my top 3. I love Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, and now this one's been added in my top 3, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So the only weak aspect of this movie was the villain. Played by Lee Schreiber, who plays and voices Kingpin in this movie. So if you've got the chance to see this movie, you'll know what I'm talking about as to why I feel his reasoning behind his actions were a bit weak. And I thought to myself while watching this movie, how is that reasoning, how is it even plausible? I mean, I wouldn't even think it worked even if he succeeded. So he would have wasted his time trying to do said reason. So go see this movie anyways. It's amazing. You'll have a lot of fun with these characters. It's pretty funny. It gets a little intense, and there are a lot of sad moments, and it's just fun for the whole family and fun for kids and adults. Everybody will have a great time with it. And if you love animation from like Illumination and Pixar and such like that, then you'll love this Spider-Man movie. And this is a movie that we didn't ask for, but for some, a lot of us have been waiting for something like this, and I'm glad that it's been done already. And I'm looking forward to the sequels and the spin-off female Spider-Women that Sony's planning to do. So go ahead and look out for those as well. Get excited. This movie's phenomenal, guys. I really had a great time. I saw it late last night. Sorry I didn't get to post my review late last night because I got home really late and I was really tired. So I wanted to save my review for today, and now I'm doing it, and it's amazing. I love this movie. It was great. You guys should go see it if you're all Spider-Man fans, of course, and Marvel Comics fans. Anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and give Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse an A. Thank you guys for watching. What did you think of the review? Have you seen the movie? If you haven't, go see it right away. Post your comments down below. Please, guys, don't forget to like this video, comment down below, subscribe, and click on bell notifications so y'all don't miss anything. And of course, I'm going to have a link to my Discord channel, so that way you guys can join me there, and that way we can talk about comic book related content and whatnot. So if you just want to say hi, I'll take that as well, and I'll just say hi back. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.